Hey everybody, and welcome to the Irish Wrestling Podcast. This week we're joined by our regular Mark O'Brien, Colin Byrne, and himself, the hardest working referee in the world, Foxy. How is everybody doing? How was everybody's week?
Doing all right. Nice and quiet. Happy with a few days off. Few weeks off.
Weeks.
Sorry. It's a rarity.
It's been a while since we saw you, Foxy. Last time I saw you in person was in at Scrapper Mania.
Yeah.
Working your ass off again.
Yeah.
Getting bumped all over the place.
Yeah, that couple of super kicks, swollen jaw maybe.
No.
I'll come back on through that table.
Yeah, it was an unexpected outcome of the Friday night. But yeah,
Chopped out by Santino Marella as well, robbing your spot.
I didn't mind that. I watched it on demand. I'm more just laughing at the fact that like nobody checked on me.
Why would they? Santino was there. Like he got
a good 10
pop.
minutes. I'm just outside. I'm like, thanks, lads. Like, didn't even check on me, see if I'm okay.
That's two of the last. They would have known if you were.
They were waiting for you to throw up the X
on myself, just like, yeah.
Two of the last three Wolf shows ended up injured now, so you've got a bad track record over there.
How they don't start making this a thing? Like every Wolf show, like, oh yeah, we have to do something.
Note to self: text Joe as soon as we finish recording.
Big pop for Foxy and Wolves. Get him back.
Foxy loves it. Foxy loves those spots. He's gonna be modest and he's gonna say, "Oh, I don't know, it's just been part of a show." But it was what a moment! Like it's what we always talk about. Those moments are the things that we remember. The John Woo that you took off, Walter getting thrown off the stage by what I don't even know what they were called.
War Machine.
That's it. Viking Raiders now. Like, those moments, those spots are brilliant. Like, and yeah. It's great that you get to be part of it. I was slightly jealous, like, although I don't envy it in the moment because they look painful. But yeah, very jealous that you've had those moments.
I've got a prediction. Yeah, I've got a prediction for the end of 2023. It's going to be known as Deathmatch Foxy.
No.
Yeah.
Super kick party.
No, I was already part of that. Like, if you're at the very first stadium show you've seen, so. I was part of the super kick party and I got a Meltzer driver. So yeah. Which is still mad to think.
Like, yeah.
Crazy.
Still waiting for that pile driver though.
Yeah.
Mr. Suzuki.
Oh yeah.
One of these days.
I make no secret about it. I want that to happen. Yeah. Like I'd gladly be there. It's like just do it. Just do it. Like get it done with.
I think it's better that he just keeps threatening you with it.
I know, but still.
Lads, we'll get into what we're here for anyway. Big weekend coming up this weekend in Irish wrestling. Fight Factory, OTT, and Hard Knocks are all having shows on the one weekend, which is going to be big for all the wrestlers who are involved in all three shows. I'm sure there's a few people involved that we'll talk about throughout the episode who are going to be traveling for three shows this weekend, and they're not going to have much of a break at all. Before we touch on that, we'll just briefly touch on RCW. It happened this weekend in Cork. Their third show back as RCW. Lads, Mark and Colin, you attended it. How did it go?
Yeah, it was very good. Myself, Mark, and a few friends drove down to Cork on the Friday. We went down for two shows. They had a family show in the afternoon. Just a bit of crack. Like I won't get too much into the family show. It's very non-canon. Just the lads out there having a bit of a laugh, but. The evening show picked up the massive night and day difference between the two shows as well. Like, it was like everyone kind of upped their game for the evening show. Bit more professional, if that's the right word to use. Like, not to say that they weren't professional during the day, but like a bit more serious, maybe.
More swear.
Like definitely over 18 show. Like they had the crack, but very, very fun, very enjoyable show. Good to see a few people that I haven't seen in a while. A few lads that were with Phoenix maybe last year that I haven't seen. So good to see how they're doing down there. Solid show. Probably wouldn't say it was their best show I've been to. Like like I'm gonna say like it's not Phoenix, but a lot of the same people there and stuff. But yeah, I think the Phoenix anniversary show was their pinnacle, and it wasn't at that height, but yeah, like there was some matches that were massive standouts, and then a lot of potential there as well for what's to come. But yeah, like you have people like Gene Money, Carlos Romo, Darius defending his Wrestle Carnival championship on it.
That's a big one for them, isn't it? That was the first time he defended.
Very big, yeah. Yeah, it's a good four-way match, and like very, very solid performers in it as well, you know. So there was Darius, Martina, CBL, and Martin Stairs. So like four really hot current wrestlers in that main, and yeah, like definitely for me that was probably match of the night. I don't think the result was in doubt, to be honest, which was the only thing that might have taken me away. I like obviously he's defending a Wrestle Carnival title on a different show, so like he's not dropping it if it's not on Wrestle Carnival, you know. But I was kind of hoping for the swerve, and I was hoping for a new champ to be crowned on it. But yeah, like that was the only thing that kind of took me out of the main a little bit, was that the result wasn't really in doubt. But some great moments, some great spots, very fun show. Yeah, Mark, what do you think?
I really enjoyed it. Like I can see why it's such a sought after night out in Cork. Like it was very much people were there for their Friday night out. It was a good atmosphere, particularly compared to the daytime show. Again, it was very relaxed and chilled in the morning and the afternoon. Then the evening there was a bit more intensity, seriousness, the production, be it the lights and everything, the way it was organized, a lot more serious, probably the word for it. Even the amount of talent that were brought in, Gene Money, man like Darius, Carlos Romo, and a few others, like top to bottom, I thought it was a bloody good card on paper. Like for a Friday night show over Easter weekend, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't have huge expectations. I'd never been to a Phoenix show live previously, and I'd never been to the Kino. So yeah, like this as a show overall, it's quite. I was delighted to be there. I got to meet new connections, meet new people. It was a very much an all island show. There was talent from BJDP, Rocky Star from up north. So many talent to feature across OTT and Fight Factory Pro Wrestling. Talent from over in the UK and European as well, and then obviously the hometown crowd, be it Dino and Skylar and a few other talent as well. So it was really good. It was good. A good smorgasbord, is I suppose is the term used in wrestling these days, of a variety show of talent from all over, and yeah, I was a thoroughly good night out, I thought.
Good. Solid show. So we were, unfortunately, Liz is out at the minute 6, so we weren't able to attend it. We would normally go, and similar to that, like normally it's just a good night out. Even if you're not drinking, it's a good laugh. Like if you get to hear Justy and Luke on commentary as well, like you can sometimes overhear them over the matches, and they're having a whale of a time with each other. Like, so that also helps the show out as well. Like when they're bouncing off each other. I know Justy wasn't on commentary, Billy was.
Yeah, so at the start of the show, Luke kind of did a thing in the ring, saying that he's been ringing around all week looking for someone to replace Justy for the week. He rang a host of people, including Joe Cabray, Tony Kelly, like made a few gags about them and stuff. Very funny. And then music hits the Eric Bischoff Raw GM music. That's the one. But big picture of Billy as the general manager. So Billy comes out as the new GM and joins Luke on commentary. But Justy obviously having the match, and then I think we got the likes of Reardon O'Connor took a spot on commentary during one of the matches as well, and Luke and Billy were also sharing a few other duties. Billy was doing the ring announcing. Bloody good ring announcer as well, to be fair to him. He ramped up throughout the night as well, so like he was like very low key towards the start of the night, where the man he was like fucking all guns blazing, like, and gave a great I think it was the Reese's intro that he did, Mark, that like I was like, fuck, that was unreal. Like definitely like G's you up and get you ready for the match. Like and then Luke was doing some interviews after matches and stuff. So the two boys were in and out of the ring fairly regularly. And my favorite part of the night was trolling Luke while he was in the ring as well, and nearly got him a hiding from Renzo, who answered Dino's challenge. I think Renzo called him a gee bag or a pussy or something like that. So in standard Renzo fashion. But Yeah, the two lads, very good. Yeah, different, very different to what you see at other shows, with those interviews and stuff. But yeah, it's a 3 hour drive away, so I don't know when I'll get to my next one. But yeah, I'm sure once I see a decent show and I have the time to get down to it, I'll definitely be back again.
Cool. Perfect. And this weekend, obviously, there was obviously, I know Hard Knocks was supposed to be on Easter Sunday. That was changed to this weekend coming. But before we touch on that, Fight Factory are coming up this Friday, for their next show. What have you got coming up there, Colin? What's happening with Fight
Yeah,
Factory?
so pretty stacked card. So just today there was announced the main event, where Leyton will be defending his Irish Junior Heavyweight Championship against 3 other Tigers. CBL, who was unfortunate last time out, will put on a great showing. Party Boy will be cashing in his rematch, his tag team championship rematch for the championship. I don't know how JB will feel about that one. I reckon we could see some backlash from JB with that. Supposedly JB is not going to be there, so Party Boy pulling a bit of a swerve on JB. And Anita Vaughan getting a run out in that match, which is very interesting. That's a very interesting one. I actually didn't expect that. I can see why she's there. She's been on fire the last few months as well. So, that's very interesting. I'm not sure. I didn't really see properly if it's an elimination or they're just doing a straight 4-way, but
Fatal
I think it was just announced as fatal 4-way, was it? Yeah. But it's going to be a very interesting match. We have a couple of other matches announced. So we have PB&J taking on Galacini and AJ Scraggs. I think that's going to be very funny. I think Foxy could be in for some torment during that match. Potentially, I know Justy once he gets going, and likes to play up with Mr. Fox in the ring. But yeah, Galacini putting out some great content as well with the Big Brother stuff and all. If you haven't seen that, go and watch it.
I love him. Like,
That's
I
ridiculous.
absolutely love Galacini. Like, he's so entertaining.
There's just such a gap in Irish wrestling right now for something like that.
Yeah.
I think I'm not sure if we actually spoke about it before, but we have like the likes of Captain Sexy who was there, who's no longer wrestling. Be Cool has stepped away. Martina has kind of come out of a lot of the comedy stuff. She still does a little bit, but she's kind of focused, especially over the last year, on having more serious matches. So there's definitely a massive gap in the market for someone like that, and he's definitely filling it for me. I think he's garnering a lot of new fans.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's gonna be a very fun match, that one. I think that's the one that I'm kind of most anticipating, to see what happens in that one.
In this one.
Hopefully not. I know it was a bit of crack and all, but give me a fucking swerve with that bear. I was very disappointed I didn't get a swerve with the bear. I wanted Phil to be in the bear costume and to turn on Justy or something.
Tried to tease that, didn't they? That Phil was going to go back and.
He did at the start. I was just a bit disappointed. Once the bear kind of went, and then that was it. I was like, "Where's the swerve? Who was in the bear costume?
That's the swerve. There's no swerve.
Yeah, they fucking swerved me massively, making me pay for a ticket for that shit. And anyway,
I was fully convinced
come on.
they were going to have Becky Lynch because she was supposed to be in Dublin that weekend. She was back home that weekend. I was like, no way. There's no way.
Becky in a bear costume.
Not a chance.
No fucking way.
Did CM Punk not do something like that a few years ago in a small
he
level
just
Chicago
randomly
indie? And he kind of came in with a couple of under a hood, hit a GTS to the left, and then people realized an hour later that was CM Punk.
Yeah,
that'd have been It
was just random.
Yeah,
because he just wanted to do something and just leave.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Hopefully, no more bears. That's for me. I know a lot of my mates liked it and stuff, but for me,
they'll be making use of that costume.
Massive miss for me. Massive miss. They swerved the shit out of me, by not doing something with it. We've another.
I'm all upset now because you got worked. Yes, he is.
Maybe. New tag team, and anyway, LJ and Fabio. Bit of a mixed reaction from these guys on the last one. I think a lot of people were expecting something different from them. That they're kind of seem to take a different route. They're going to be facing off against the Bearded Beauties. But yeah, I've seen a bit of a mixed reaction on whether the team actually works or not. It'd be good to get your guys' input on this. Like, what did you think of the team?
I don't think they're a team for the long haul. I think it's a team that's building to something, be it on I know they've had matches, be it for the Irish Junior Heavyweight Championship, but I think it eventually builds to something, be it somebody turns on the other, or somebody turns heel or whatnot, and it leads to a longer rivalry. That's like that could be me trying to be too clever, getting ahead of myself, but that's kind of the impression I got. I'm glad they're facing the Bearded Beauties. I think as a tag team, they've probably stepped up massively as much as anybody the last number of months. Particularly if you look around the different promotions as well. With Butch, now that we'll talk about it later, being in the main event over at Hard Knocks, on the matches he himself and JDP were involved in down at RCW the weekend. So yeah, I think that'd be very good. We just go back on the PB&J versus Galaccini AJ Scraggs match. Just to touch on that, I think it's PB&J versus the two hardest working newcomers in the country. I think you've got Galaccini, who goes to every school, goes to every show, drives the van, bringing the ring for different shows all around the country. AJ Scraggs, does much the same. He goes to everywhere. He's at every training session. He's the first one there. He's the last to leave. They're two lovely lads as well. Nobody will have a bad word to say about anybody. They go out of their way to help everybody. They're personable. I know they've got a bit of a kind of a love-hate dynamic as a team going on, but I'm glad they're being given that likely semi-main match, maybe, just based on the kind of the layout of the card so far. But yeah, I think Galaccini is obviously the hottest thing in Irish wrestling so far, based on his kind of gimmick and the promotional material he's putting out there, be it his Big Brother stuff or the Love Island stuff. And AJ Scraggs, he's getting his plaudits now after getting the chance to be in the ring with Eric Redbeard last year. But I just think it's very telling that the two of them are formed up as a tag team in Fight Factory.
Yeah,
They're almost like an unlikely duo. Like you have the odd couple, like one's very outgoing, the other one's very recluse. I'll say, and to be honest, that dynamic actually works so well, and it's been done in the past, like having like these odd couple kind of like teams, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the entertainment of seeing that journey is actually great. So that's why I can't wait to see how this plays out as well with those two.
Yeah.
And still, the opportunity for AJ to grow as well, because Galaccini is just this larger than life personality, and like it's hard not to be like, he won't be bringing AJ up to it, but it's hard not to feed into that and kind of become wrapped up in it, getting fed up and angry. Or does AJ go the other way, and does he become like a funny character as well? So like it's a brilliant dynamic. I think it's a really good pairing on many different levels.
It's an opportunity for AJ to show a different side of his personality that we haven't seen yet. We know he's a good wrestler. We know he's very, very talented, but we just haven't seen enough diversity of his personality to really be like, yes, I want to get behind you, or I really like this guy, or I really hate this guy. It really depends. But this is the perfect opportunity, and especially being paired with someone like Galaccini, who is out there and in your face, and just but it's a great chance for him to grow as well with that dynamic.
I'd be excited to see them actually fighting for the tag titles at some stage down the line against the Saviors. I think that would be a good dynamic to see them going off each other. Galaccini be pissing the Saviors off in the background.
It'd be good, but just not yet.
No, not yet. Not yet. I'd expect probably the winners of LJ Fabio and the Bearded Beauties to be challenging next. I suppose that's not announced as a number one contenders match, but I'm presuming one of those teams will be up next.
Yeah, I'd agree much the same. And yeah, like and much the same way of those two matches, people get an opportunity to kind of be in different dynamics or different positions in the card. Just to touch back in the main event with Leyton Buzzard versus CBL versus Party Boy versus Anita Vaughan. I think CBL above anybody else in the Irish country is probably leveled up more than anybody in my view. Even from this past weekend when he was against man like Doris, he didn't look out of place in any interactions whatsoever against the Wrestle Carnival champion. Like Doris is just been featuring on a GCW show over in WrestleMania weekend. He's been front and center for Progress, TNT, Wrestle Carnival. He's up and down the breadth and length of the British Isles, as featuring in main events week in, week out. And CBL did not look out of place as a character or as a wrestler. I don't know he's faced Leyton Buzzard before, but I'm delighted to see him back in this spot. Anita Vaughan, much like in the same way, has leveled up hugely in the past year. And again, much like this coming weekend's Hard Knock show, it's great to see her involved in a main event spot also. I think out of all the four in that main event, I actually personally think she is the highest ceiling of growth and potential going forward, personally. Yeah.
Do we see a title change in this match? Is there going to be a surprise, a shock, maybe a cash in?
Who knows?
We've been anticipating the cash in for since Martin won it the last couple of shows now. I think I'm definitely surprised that Leyton has stuck around as champion for so long. I actually didn't anticipate this long of a run. I thought that they were going to pull the trigger on Martin nearly immediately, if not the very next show, which they didn't. So I'm actually surprised that Leyton is still the champion, and I know that he does have a lot of mates in Fight Factory, so he loves coming over as well. So maybe that has a lot to do with it. And then of course, like, who doesn't want like one of the hottest talents in European wrestling right now to be their champion as well? So, and to keep coming back. So you can definitely understand the decision standpoint. I actually just didn't expect him to be around this long, especially with this Canada trip and all coming up. But obviously that didn't interfere with any shows. So yeah, why not? But yeah, I think that the briefcase is always going to be the threat. You know, like, it's, even if it's not used, it's always that looming possibility in the background, you know. So
it's a wild card.
Yeah, it adds that different dynamic. Like, Leighton's always going to be looking over his shoulder, you know. So even if he does come out on top after on Friday, you know, the first thing he's going to do is he's going to look to the entrance to make sure that Martin's not doing a run in, you know. So yeah, it definitely adds that different dynamic. But yeah, listen, it could go any way. It's a pretty hot match, and in a four-way, your chances of winning massively diminish as well. So
Steiner math.
Steiner math, yeah.
There's no rules, is there? There's no disqualifications, no.
Fail four-way, no DQs. So
Foxy just has to stand there and do nothing. Count to three.
Be careful. Make sure you wear a cup and, you know, face mouth guard or whatever, like, just in case.
Yeah, just like that's muffle. No, but
you're not in the way.
It's gonna be good though. Like, it's a good lineup, and Leyton Buzzard is such a hell of a talent. Like that. Selfishly, it's actually brilliant having him as long as Fight Factory can, because anyone that he'll face will instantly level up by working with someone of Leyton's caliber.
Yeah,
like it's just it stands to benefit Fight Factory in the long run, having Leyton for selfishly for as long as possible.
Yeah.
And then the last match from that card to touch
there's
on.
There's only one other, isn't there?
Yeah, the murder on the dance floor match. I was actually just about to ask Noel, what is a murder on the dance floor match? But I think that's probably to be.
You think Foxy's going to be able to tell you what that is?
When do I know the rules?
You will all find out at the same time as you, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You've seen it last time. It's like, oh, 6. No, I'm leaving. Bye.
Yeah, so like on that match, we've got a Death Proof Debbie. Debbie Keitel's new kind of character, more of a hardcore based, kind of more animated character, which is again getting to see a different side of her personality to what she's showing in different promotions around the country. Then you've got the Compton Boulevard champion, Gangland, Jay Steins, my guy, going to win the Murder and Dance for a match versus absolutely. He's not. You're a hick. Jay Steins is not a hick. You're a hick, Colin. Versus Ryan Banks versus Liam Leonard versus Rory O versus Yu Tang. So I think we all know straight away Compton Boulevard, Gangland is going to come out the winner in that. And I don't think there's any disagreement really across the board on that one.
I don't know what to expect, so that's why I can't really comment on it.
I don't even know what the rules are. Is it even a match?
The dance off.
I don't know. It's probably a glorified dance off.
Like, I don't know.
It's probably a reference to like
Tracy's mother.
Tracy's mothers used to love doing like dance offs, like instead of wrestling matches, just because it was hilarious. But maybe
just
that's
yeah. just maybe spoiling the surprise slightly, but I know Rory and Ryan both have dancing backgrounds. So if it is a dance off, I think that heavily lends into their favor. Zhu as well. I know is incredibly agile just from training with him. So maybe puts.
Jay wasn't pop locking in the streets of Compton when he was living there.
I've no doubt he would have been. I'm impressed you know what that is.
Jay's dance is just this where he bounces up and down.
Oh, it's in the lowriders.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, listen. Again, that's a huge opportunity for lads who are regularly featuring on the next gen shows. Particularly lads like Ryan and Rory who are at every train, and Zhu who are at every training session in Fight Factory, and have been consistently for months. So to get this kind of a bigger platform, it's a great showing of faith from Katie and Phil. So I'm really hoping it pays off for them and they really come through on Friday and smash it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think the one thing that we're safe to say is that if it is anything to do with dancing, I think we're all gonna make Foxy dancing anyway. So, wanna have your dancing shoes on, Mr. Fox?
Get the worm out. Get the worm out.
Yeah, he always does. He always gets involved. But yeah, I think that's all for Fight Factory. Unless we missed something, if we did, I apologize. But presumably there's going to be another couple of matches added to that card. But yeah, as is every month on a Friday night in Dublin City with Fight Factory, cracking shows. So I don't think this is going to be anything less. They're putting on such a different style of show to any others. That all standing grungy dark type feeling. So yeah, this Friday I don't think it'll be any different, and really looking forward to this week as I do with every other month that Fight Factory run. So
speaking of grungy and dark, just give you a bit of our sponsor for this episode is manscape.com. Make sure your weather regions are dark and grungy. The support is brought to you by manscape.com, who are the best men's below the waist grooming. Their products are precision engineered tools for your family jewels. The performance package, the ultimate hygiene bundle. Join over 8 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with an exclusive offer. Get 20% off free worldwide shipping in the code IWE20 at manscaped.com. That is 16 million balls, nice and smooth, not dark, not dingy, not grungy. Nice and clean, as long as they're washing themselves afterwards. Obviously, we've all, I think we've all been grooming for a while now. Lads, have you been using it? Mark, I know your package is on the way, so hopefully we'll be able to talk about it next week after you get a chance to use it. But
getting a package to improve his package.
Hey.
Well, it does add 2 inches, so whatever you want.
I'll take what I can get. Yeah, so we can get using that weed whacker and hoping for the best. But yeah, no. Listen, from from Colin's thorough reviews, like it seems to have been a life changer for him. So I'm hoping much the same on my end going forward. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Have you gotten Fox here since you started using
it? I have been using it, and I've actually been using it fairly regularly. It's actually really fucking good.
Yeah.
The 4.0, like the razor, like it is just, it's fantastic, like so handy. The charge life is great. So but not only that, the blades on it, they don't cut you. Like, not gonna say like it's like perfect. You will get the odd nick here and there, but it's fantastic though. Like, it's a lot easier than just trying to use a two blade razor, trying to fucking like shave down there. It's like, so yeah, it has been a game changer anyway.
Yeah, it is a game changer. It is, it's waterproof. You can bring it into the shower with you as well, so like you don't have to sit in the toilet and look down at your balls while you're shaving them. Like, you can just stand up and get them nice and soft.
Brilliant.
There's also an LED light on them as well, so if the power goes out during a winter storm and you're just like, oh Jesus Christ, this bush is itchy, like, just off you go, away you go.
Every eventuality. Love it.
They've got you covered. They've got the ball deodorant, which is the nicest smelling deodorant in the world. Like, and you can, like I said before, you can use it everywhere. Like, you can put it on your face, on your pits, wherever. But obviously,
make sure you wash it beforehand.
Do your face before you do your balls, or wash your hands afterwards and then put it on, because it smells great. Like, if you're standing in a crowded room or a small little space like in the Fight Factory, and you know, sometimes smells can get a bit wafty. Like if you've got the Manscaped ball deodorant on, you're the one that everybody's standing beside. But just again, thanks to Manscaped for sponsoring the podcast. Just use the code IW20 at manscaped.com. Get 20% off, free worldwide shipping, and your balls will thank you.
On in OTT, and it's a race to the top. OTT presents a one-night, 8-man tournament live from the Complex in Dublin on April 15. LJ Cleary, Renzo Rose, Leon Slater, Leyton Buzzard, Sean Maxer Guinness, Ricky Knight Jr., Callum Newman, Omari, with the victor becoming #1 contender for the OTT World Championship. Tickets available from eventbrite.ie now.
And on to OTT, Colin. Not much announced for it. It's a big tournament coming up this Saturday.
Yeah, massive tournament that they're after announcing. #1 contender tournament. Seems to be what they're going with. Something that they haven't done in a long time. Correct me if I'm wrong, Foxy, but 2017, roughly. Was the last tournament that they held for the NLW Championship. Maybe 2018.
Yeah, it's around 2017, 2018.
Yeah, was the last tournament that that Thatcher won the NLW Championship, after Jordan Devlin relinquished to take the OTT Championship. So, I think it's something that's been called for a long time. A lot of people have wanted a tournament. A lot of people have been asking for it. So here it is. Are we just gonna get a tournament? We don't know. There has been a women's match announced to the card as well. Session Martina against Lizzy Evo, which I know. One of my mates, Rob, has been petitioning to get Lizzy over for a long time. So, Rob popped when he saw that Lizzy would be coming over. And then a double hit for Rob. His one of his favorite wrestlers, RKJ, is in the tournament as well. So, I'll just briefly run through the tournament brackets. And then we can discuss. So, we have Leon Slater against Leyton Buzzard. Sean Guinness against RKJ. The winner of those two matches will face each other in the semis. On the other side of the bracket, we have LJ Cleary against Renzo Rose, and then Omari against Callum Newman. And again, the winners of those two matches will face each other in the semis, and then the winners of them into the final. Pretty stacked brackets.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone was anticipated, like, when there was a tournament, that it was going to be this stacked. What do you guys think about the brackets? Do you have a favorite? Who do you think will win it?
I love it. I love it's 7 matches potentially in one night. I think like the variety of wrestlers across the board. A lot of wrestlers being given opportunities who might necessarily have been pushed towards a kind of a #1 contendership beforehand, be it like Renzo Rose. Outside talent being brought in who'd be relatively fresh to the OTT audience, be it Callum Newman. More established veteran talent being brought back in, like Sean Guinness being given a great opportunity against probably the top 2 or 3 hottest wrestlers across the European scene, RKJ. And then you've got the ICW Irish Junior Heavyweight Champion Leyton Buzzard against potentially the most talented young wrestler in the whole of Europe, Leon Slater. And the potential then for secondary round brackets into semifinals, like the winner of Omari Callum Newman versus the winner of LJ Renzo Rose. Is Omari going to be carrying over his new attitude from his match against Sami D in the stadium there? There's so many permutations of what way things can go and how things can play out. Because the winner is going to be having 3 matches in one night. Like, how is that going to feed into your performance across all 3 matches throughout the night? How's that going to be staggered? Or somebody going to have to have 2 matches in a row? Who's going to have that advantage of having a rest between their semi-final and the final match? I'm fascinated. I think that it keeps people interested in one kind of story thread throughout one show. And I tournaments can be slightly overdone in wrestling, in my opinion, but when they're done and they're kept to a minimum like this, they are special. They feel different, particularly off the back of such a monumental title change at the stadium recently. I'm buzzing for it.
Yeah, same. I'm buzzing for the young talent like Callum Newman and Leon Slater. Like, I think they're going to pull off a couple of shocks, whether they get to the final or not. But I think if you look at like that Leon Slater and Leyton Buzzard, if Leyton Buzzard wins, goes all the way, like he's going to have Fight Factory. He's going to have he could potentially have 3 matches in OTT and have a match in Hard Knocks all in one weekend. He's going to be pretty burnt out by the time the last match even comes in OTT if he decides to get through. But Leon Slater is not somebody to be sniffed at, even though he's young. Like, he's only 18 years old, which is crazy, the amount of matches he's already had under his belt and the talent he's already faced. So I could see a shock happening there already. RKJ, again, like, one of the hottest people out there at the moment, and Sean, it's going to be a cracker of a match. I'd love to see LJ go all the way. I think he's got the potential, but Renzo was on fire at the moment, and I find it hard to put Renzo down at the moment. I think he's going to pull off a couple of shocks as well. Like, I could see Renzo getting into the final against, I'm not sure who gets to the final, but I could see maybe Renzo beating Omari in the semis, and maybe Leon Slater against Renzo or RKJ in the final.
Big call beating this new, like, I loved Omari in his match against Sami in the stadium, like, because he's a stupidly physical and agile man, and he really put himself about in that match. I love that additional level of aggression he had. I think in a show like this, where the potential of showcasing that across 3 matches, he could be viewed in an entirely new light going forward off the back of it. Omari's my prediction for winning the whole thing here, potentially leading to a rematch against Sami with a slightly different dynamic. That's just my take. I don't know what you lads think. Gun to your head, who would you be backing to win the whole thing?
Renzo. Renzo's winning it. Like, he's sheer hot. We voted him as the most improved wrestler last year, or was it rookie of the year, wasn't it? But like, he's far from a rookie. Like, he was his rookie year in Irish wrestling, but he's a six-year wrestler now at this stage. We've seen what he can do. He's so simplistic yet so emphatic at the same time, and he's starting to build that momentum now with getting a couple of wins under his belt. He had a bit of a losing streak. Now he has those couple of wins under his belt. That knee finish, that dropping knee finish that he's after incorporating now into his moveset, devastating. Like, if he's hitting that on anybody, they're out. So my pick is Renzo. I know LJ is there. It's not the first time they faced each other, but I believe that Renzo's very different. I think he can get through in Omari, Callum Newman, and I'd probably say maybe Renzo or KJ final would be where my money would go, and I think Renzo takes it home. But Foxy, you've worked with all these guys. Have you worked with Callum before?
I have, actually. Like, I worked with him on a show in Sheffield like a couple of years back, and like dude was like insanely good back then. So I can only imagine with like the seasoning that he's had like over the last couple of years, like we're gonna see a completely different monster. So I'm excited to see him actually finally debut here for OTT. And to go against like Omari, like, Jesus, it could be fireworks going off in that match. Jesus. So, but I can't make any predictions. It's not up to me. I have to be impartial because I'm probably gonna be reffing it. So.
Yeah. Well, from being in there with them, like, obviously we're looking at it from the outside. We're seeing the likes of RKJ, Leyton Buzzard, Leon Slater, Renzo, LJ. Like, these guys are like, they're phenomenal talents. But like, you're in there, you have the best seat in the house, and you're getting to see the nuances that these guys are putting on in the ring. Like when you look at this bracket, like, it could it be better? Like, are we being spoiled here with this?
You're definitely being spoiled with this. Like, God damn it. Like, you have some of the absolute best that the country has, as well as some wild cards in the likes of Leyton, Callum Newman, and Ricky Knight Jr. Like, they're already the wild cards. You couldn't have asked for a better bracket, like, for a tournament. Like, if this is the way the singles tournament is going to be, what's the tag going to be? Like, on the upcoming show. Like, God damn it.
We do have one other match on the cards though as well. We do have Session Martin against Lizzy Evo. We'll just touch on that for a moment. Session Martin's first title defense. Against someone who is known to be an absolute C word, which I'm not going to say on the show, and generates a lot of heat. So I expect the roof to be taken off with boos on Saturday night in the complex for Lizzy Evo. But yeah, she's definitely one of the more popular names on the European scene at the moment. And she can generate that heat. I think it's going to be a very hot crowd for that one, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this match. But then on the flip side, we also still have, will Debbie Keitel be in the building on Saturday? With after stealing the women's championship. There's a lot going on here in this women's division, and I'm loving it right now.
Like, there's nothing else that can be said about it, really. To be honest, you've kind of hit the nail on the head. It's Session Martinez's first offense with a debuting like Lizzy Evo. But you also have the wild card of Debbie Keitel, who basically literally stole the championship, a scrapper, and still, to my knowledge, has the belt.
She does.
So
keep posting pictures on social.
Where is that going to progress? Like, going forward, like, who knows? We'll have to wait.
You had to Photoshop the match graphic with Debbie's arm and belt in it for Martina as well. So yeah, I think it's safe to say she still does have the belt. But very interesting dynamic. But do we anticipate another match being added to this card? Potentially seven in the tournament, you know. Yeah.
Eight's a lot, yeah. Like, it's particularly for a 2 to 3 hour show, and with one significant story thread throughout. Like, I think that'd be, people be like, people won't be focusing less. It'd be like people have to pay attention throughout and how people are performing from match to match to match, and what the end result will be. Like, it's a different type of show, but I'm really looking forward to it.
I know some people are probably going to be disappointed thinking that Sami's not on the card. But I think it's also safe to say that, and like, this is just me guessing, that Sami's going to be in the building on Saturday. Like, he's not going to be watching from afar. I reckon he's going to be there front and center.
I'd say so.
Yeah, well, what version of Sami are we getting? Are we getting the leader of the draw Sami, who's, against everyone? Or are we getting the Sami who won the title at Scrapper and got the plaudits that he deserved?
They're one and the same.
Yeah, like that is. I think that's a really good point. Like, what type is he? It may depend on who wins the tournament. It depends. I reckon he'll come out at the end of the show, depending on who comes out on top. Like, his reaction and what side of his personality he portrays. May be dependent or contingent on who he's facing again in the next round, and what his natural reaction, be it somebody he may have faced before and he'd be more casual with, or somebody he's be more wary of and might revert to his more previous tactics of jumping them, or maybe relying on guys like the J and other members of the draw to kind of get him a leg up. So like that and the Debbie factor, there's two different story threads that'll be tied throughout the show as well. So yeah, a lot to look forward to.
And still, the weekend rolls on. So much to look forward to. Sunday comes along, and we're going to get hit hard, very fucking hard, with Sunday's show. Colin, you've got all the details for Hard Knocks.
Massive card, massive card. I think they're just leveling up each show, and bringing in a few new talent. This one, we have a few debuts coming up. The Kings of the North make the debuts against the Pretty Playboys. That's just massive, getting the Kings on the show. We have the Sam against Raven. That's a golden ticket match because Raven still has her ticket there. So big spot for the Sam as well. It'll be interesting to see what type of Sam we get, because we did definitely see a more serious Sam at the stadium recently. So are we going to get that serious Sam? It's a serious match, or will he come out fun and games? It'd be very interesting to see. we do have our other golden ticket match on the card. Anita Vaughan, LJ Cleary, Scotty Davis, and Boots Murphy. Four golden tickets in this one. So LJ currently has 2, Anita has 1, and Scotty has 1.
Yeah.
Someone's walking away with 4 of these, which would leave only whoever comes out on top in Sam and Raven, and then the winner of this match with golden tickets left. So we're nearly at the end here for
a gauntlet match, right? Is it a gauntlet match?
I think they call it a gauntlet. I think it's a scramble type match. I think it's every 5 minutes. I'm not sure what the actual rules are. I think Hard Knocks will have to probably let us know exactly what way things are working, whether it's just every 5 minutes someone enters like a normal scramble, or we have to wait for a victory before the next person comes in. But definitely like the last person in has the advantage here in this one. And I think LJ, I think, has got on off lightly the last couple of matches. He stole a victory in the first one. A bit of shit housery went on in the last one with Fabio, so he definitely has his work cut out to get through here. You know, like he definitely, I think we need to see the MVP coming back. You know, because I don't think we've seen the MVP LJ Cleary and Hard Knocks yet. So
does he start? Does he start in the match? Is he the first? Has it been announced who started?
I think it's all up in the air. I think we'll have to see whether they do a draw to the side or what way that's done. 2 other matches to announce. I'm hoping, because I've spoken to Hard Knocks management and I have been told that I can actually talk about this match. But I'm hoping that they announce it before actually our show goes out. Otherwise, sorry guys, we're announcing this match. But yeah, we have Sami D versus Leyton Buzzard, which we knew Leyton was going to be there, but we have Sami against Leyton for the #1 contendership for the Hard Knocks Pro Wrestling Championship, which is mega.
Yeah.
Like the current OTT champion, current ICW Irish Junior Heavyweight champion taking on each other for the shot at the Hard Knocks Pro Wrestling Championship. Like this is big.
Mm.
You know, so yeah, I'm hoping the guys get a graphic out before our show goes out. Otherwise, we got the exclusive. So thanks, Hard Knocks, for filling us in on this one.
Graphic going across the screen now.
yeah. But just the one other match then on that card. And then maybe we can look into the matches a bit more. But the main event, defending champion Terry Thatcher against challenger and #1 contender Butch Armstrong in a Limerick street fight match. Now, we saw what happened at the last show. Butch attacked Terry, put him through a table. I had the pleasure, I'll say, of interviewing the 2 guys. It was like tense. I was legit like concerned.
You got skimmed, didn't you?
The bottle literally like went this much away from your head. And yeah, not just that. I think like as Terry's fist was coming back after throwing it, I think it like just brushed my ear as well. Like it was scary. It was really scary. But yeah, like that's gonna be like, we're talking about Hard Knocks. Like that's the most Hard Knocks match that you can get. Like, these 2 guys, like, it's not just a match. This is gonna be a fight. This is after getting a bit personal after the last one, you know. And Butch feels like he's been overlooked and feel whether he felt like he needed to do something outlandish to kind of boost himself into this match. But did he go about things the right way? I don't think so. But yeah,
any title spots in this match? I don't think.
No. I think he'll be leaving the fun and games behind for this one. Which I'm kind of glad about, because I called him out. I called him out on the first show that he was out there dancing and prancing around like a bit of an idiot when like he was in, like he should be taking it serious and he should be more serious in that match. And he like wasn't short of telling me that in our interview, which I was slightly concerned about at the time. But yeah, good to see that he has kind of left that side behind and he is kind of taking this more, because like if he wants to be a champion, if he wants to be the champion, there's nothing wrong with having fun, but there's a time and a place, and in the ring, in my opinion, isn't the time and place to deal with in a championship match, you know. So, but yeah, massively stacked card here, and I'm really looking forward to it. Jerry, you're going to be on the desk with me.
Yeah. If there's a desk.
If we get a new desk, yeah, that's the that's the problem, isn't it?
I think we might need something more sturdier this time, because Terry destroyed that one, but I think we need something made of steel or something, just in case they try to do it again. We don't want to be ruining our desk. The budget for Hard Knocks is going to go through the roof if they keep breaking desks.
I just don't want them coming near me during these
well,
fights. Just
don't be. I wouldn't be calling Butch out anytime soon. After that, so maybe stay away from him when he comes out from his entrance. Maybe just in case it comes towards you with a kendo stick.
Jesus, get the Foxy treatment. I hope. Hopefully, he just takes down Foxy and not me. Maybe Foxy will switch out for that match. Darren, tag in.
Special referee.
Who knows? Maybe. God damn it.
Mark, have you been down for a Hard Knock show yet?
I haven't, but I'm really looking forward to coming down this Sunday. Like, that's the card available, and that match just being announced, Sammy D versus Leyton Buzzard. Like, that's, as you say, that's two of the premier wrestling promotions in the whole continent, and two of the best young wrestlers on the planet going one-on-one. That's a get that you won't find in many promotions around the world. Like, that is two extremely high level individuals competing for a new promotion. This has already been made to feel like a very prestigious championship. This feels important, and you could even see that in the sit down interview you did with Terry and Butch a few weeks ago. The intensity and serious nature of both guys. Like, Butch was incredibly animated, and that's because he realizes like the importance of the opportunity put in front of him. This is different to what he's been doing as part of tag teams, where he gets to have a laugh, like videos of the past where he's been sitting fully clothed in jacuzzis with Billy Bedlam down in Phoenix, and jumping around, running around JDP's back as part of the Bearded Beauties, having a laugh, showing off that part of his personality. But this is an opportunity for him to level up as a wrestler going forward. This is an opportunity for him to show that he has layers as a performer, and he can be taken seriously as a man. And this is going to be a fight, and he's shown that intensity in the build up to this. Can he deliver on the big stage in a main event match against a seasoned champion in Terry Thatcher? That's to be determined, but bloody exciting, top to bottom, that card. Even like the opportunity for Boots to be in the same ring as Anita Vaughan, LJ Cleary, and Scotty Davis, that's a huge opportunity. The Sem versus Raven Creed, what kind of dynamic can that be? Like, that is incredibly unpredictable. Are the Kings of the North versus the Pretty Playboys? That'll be a brilliant tag team match. Like, there's top to bottom as a card for Sunday wrestling. This is you won't find anywhere many cards on the continent for the whole weekend better than this. Yeah, an outstanding job for this newly launched promotion by everybody involved so far. Like, yeah, this is the third show, if I'm correct, so far under the Hard Knocks banner. Where will this be in 6 shows? Where will this be in 9 shows? Like, this is going to go from strength to strength, and like the golden tickets. That's a really unique thing, and it made people think and take note. Oh, what's that? It didn't seem like some sort of convoluted wrestling trope either. It seemed interesting. It seemed unique. It seemed diverse, and it did pique a lot of people's interest. And as you say, top to bottom, cards and the wrestlers on show, like Steve's taking a step back or having to not wrestle in Limerick anymore after the last show, and then obviously the huge wave of talent coming through from that part of the world, training down in Limerick, be it Galaccini, Mercer, guys like Magic Mike.
Galaccini and Alejandro won't be there. They were told by Chris that he doesn't have a spot for them on the cards. If you saw the release earlier on, so
I did see that. Yeah.
So but as far as I know, they're going to Barcelona. They're going on a bit of a holiday. So the guys are going.
I'll get a bit of sunshine, a bit of R&R, well earned after a tough few months. And if they're, I know Galaccini's featuring in Fight Factory on Friday as well. So if a nice couple of days resting over in Barcelona, have a nice siesta.
I think he's
hopefully
actually
see-
back on the Friday, and they're going
Right.
back over on the Saturday then.
All right.
So
Fair
yeah.
play to them. Fair play.
But
He's on
I
the post,
was again. I was talking to management, and they did say that, like, obviously we have CJ West and Martina are going to be there in some capacity. We saw a vignette today, that they're going to be there. So a debut on CJ West and a debut in session with Martina. So what antics are they going to be up to on Sunday? Like, that's going to be interesting. Jay will be there in some capacity. Mikey Kelly, Francis Mercer, they will all be there. Will there be anything for them? We'll see, but definitely there's a lot going on. We've a stacked card. We've a lot of other people in the building. That potentially there's a couple more matches to maybe add here if management are looking at it, and there's people going to be there. So yeah, very, very interested to see what happens now on Sunday.
Yeah, like
Oh.
I'd say that there's not going to be any better wrestling card on a Sunday in Europe, at least, than the card that's ahead of you there, and like the stakes and nearly every match that's been listed there, like, and the opportunity for so many different wrestlers up and down the card. Like, I'm incredibly excited. I'm really looking forward to my first trip down to Dolan's and Limerick. And even on that, Dolan's as a venue looks brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as a promotion that's just been launched, I think they've very few steps, or if any at all, there's been a misstep. Everything they've done to launch this promotion has been brilliant from start to finish. So I can't wait to be down there on Sunday.
Yeah, Dowlands is a great venue as well. It has that feel. It's like Fight Factory in the Fight Factory. Like it just suits them so well. Like, it has that different feel to it. You know, it makes it stand out. That kind of, you have the balcony going around. You have people kind of looking out and down onto the ring, as well as people on the floor. It just gives that different vibe. And it makes it different to you, and that's what I love about Irish wrestling at the moment, because we have OTT, which is a massive production value. We have four sides of the ring practically covered, and that's massive production. Then we have Fight Factory, that kind of grungy underground feel. We have NLW in their theatre setup. We have Hard Knocks now in Dowlands with that balcony setup. RCW have the Kino as well, which is a very intimate setting as well, to have a show. It's like the pieces have just fit for these different promotions, and they all kind of have their unique kind of IPs that they offer depending on what show you're going to, and you know what you're going to get when you get there. And no two are the same either, which is ridiculous. And I think we're spoiled with it.
Big time. I was just going to say, I was going to shout out to people who may be watching who have never attended a show in Ireland, or an independent show, you know, who are wrestling fans, but they only watch American wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many options out there. There's so many promotions out there that are putting on banger shows.
Don't be like me. Like, don't be like, I missed like 5-6 good years of Irish wrestling.
I was the same.
Like, you
I
know,
was exactly the same. My first OTT show was in Cork in 2018, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, I missed out loads, you know, only for the fact that Phoenix or CCW, when it was CCW or Phoenix, like had been in Cork, I would never have, you know, been at an independent show before. Like, but when you go to your first one, you're automatically hooked. You're going to find something that you love there. Just go out and, you know, try one show. Like, there's shows all over the country. Like, it's not just Cork and Dublin. Like, you can go Naas, you can go up to, you know, Belfast and, you know, Limerick. You can go all over the country and find a show. Just go out and see what it's like.
The best part about most of these shows, you can come and you can shout abuse at Foxy.
Yeah. Foxy's going to get at least once.
That's if I'm on the show. Like,
Foxy,
keep in mind,
you're on practically every show.
No, I'm not.
Practically every show.
If it's not
Most shows,
and Anita or somebody, it's Foxy. Like, there's a list of people who are on every show.
Yeah, like that list is very short of people that are actually on every show.
Deathmatch Foxy.
No. No.
Buckets in my veins.
God, no. Like, I've made my feelings known about deathmatch wrestling.
I know you have.
It's just, no, I don't agree with it. But, and that's where I'll leave that, because otherwise I will.
I know.
Win that.
Hardcore Foxy then.
Hardcore Foxy. Yeah.
It's still a silver fox to us.
Bring back the paddles.
Anyway,
Foxy loves a paddle.
that's a paddle.
Well, lads, we'll leave it there before
Yeah.
we go in depth and do what Foxy can and can't do at wrestling shows, because we could be here for a while.
Jesus.
Yeah.
We
It's gonna be a
could.
long weekend. That's what it is.
It's going to be a long weekend. Lads, you are going to all the shows here.
Yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
Foxy's working everything.
Yeah.
Foxy's paid, we're paying.
Like, we're in a really privileged position, like showing the variety and like 3 different tones of shows across the weekend. The shows we've just seen this weekend at RCW, then going to Fight Factory with so many different new stars on the horizon being put into different types of opportunities to show off different parts of their personalities. And obviously then new wrestlers being put into positions fighting against the RCW heavyweight champion, be it Leyton Buzzard. Then you're going to something entirely different on the Saturday, something different, a new different show format for OTT in that tournament format. That'd be a different challenge for fans to kind of pay attention and keep their interest throughout the show. So I'm really interested to see how that goes. And then one of the best up and coming promotions in the whole continent, Hard Knocks, whereby even the likes of Terry Thatcher, he'll be annoyed that he's not included on the tournament on Saturday, and I think he'd have every right to be annoyed to be not included on Saturday. But he'll have a point to prove on Sunday to show he is one of the premier champions on the island of Ireland and in the continent of Europe. And Butch Armstrong, he's got a huge opportunity to show that he can level up and be taken far more seriously as a champion, as a competitor, challenging for the top titles around the country as well. And then we're spoiled again, Sami D versus Leyton Buzzard in a one contenders match. You're not going to see a better match, in my opinion, this weekend anywhere in Europe than that.
True
And
work.
that's your weekend ahead.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
spoiled are we?
Anything you want to plug before we go?
no, just plug the shows. Plug
Oh shit, we have a competition. Shit.
Oh yes, there's
We have a competition. 2 tickets, Hard Knock Sunday. All you have to do, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave a comment below. We're going to take all the comments, we're going to put them into a draw, and we're going to announce a winner towards the end of the week. 2 free tickets for Hard Knocks for one of you guys. So yeah, enter that competition. And we also did another competition on the video that me and Mark did. Same competition. So if you want to enter twice,
right here, click it.
if you want to enter twice, go and watch that video, comment on that video, and then you'll be in the draw twice. So yeah, 2 tickets there available for Hard Knocks. Again, Leyton Buzzard, Sami D, Terry Thatcher against Butch Armstrong. Loads of gold ticket matches, loads of fun, loads of shithousery in Limerick on Sunday. So yeah, you can get there for free with
Absolutely.
2 tickets. So
Free wrestling, so take it when you can get it.
yeah.
Right, lads, been a pleasure. Mark, Colin, Foxy, always a pleasure. See you again for the next show. Like, comment, subscribe, as the lad said, and join us for the next one. Have a good day. Cheers, lads.
Cheers, guys.